Hey guys, well, winter is almost here. As the shirt says, there's only two seasons, open water and ice fishing for those of us up north. But it's also the time of year that if we're painting lures, we're going to be picking up some new blanks and painting up lures to get ready for next year. So I thought, here's what we're going to do. Every Sunday, I do a painting video. Pick up a new blank, paint a new lure, do that every Sunday. But I thought now here'd be a good opportunity here in the middle of the week. Everybody's usually asked me, somewhere along the line somebody asks, where did you get that blank, or how do I get that blank? So I thought, today that's what we're going to do. We're going to go over all the blanks I use, we're going to go over where I get them, a little bit about them, and what I think about them. All right? Especially because if you're just starting out painting, if you're just getting started, the two crankbaits you probably know are a 1.5 and a 2.5. That's the basics, but there's so much other styles of crankbaits out there that do so many other things, and when you're painting them, this is where you're going to learn that or appreciate all the different things the other crankbaits will do. So we're going to start out where I get the majority of my lures, and the majority of the stuff I get comes from Shelts Fishing Store. Now Shelts had their own website back when I started buying from them. Now Shelts is under the umbrella of AliExpress. And yes, that means they come from China. You're going to be dealing with somebody in China. But I've dealt with Shelts for years, never had a problem, love their product. Everything is pretty fast delivery from them also. So there'll be a link in the description for Shelts' fishing page, which is located at AliExpress. So let's talk about what I get from them. And one of the first ones I get is the 1.5, the basic 1.5 that a lot of people use, and the 2.5. I don't have any 2.5 blanks. That's on my list to buy some of those. The 1.5 you're going to see goes down about 2 or 3 feet. 2.5 about 4 to 5. And those two basic body styles are pretty much the same for everybody. All right, the 1.5 and the 2.5 are just pretty generic bottle styles that come pretty much straight no matter who you get them from. Another one I like to get from them, from Shelts, I call it the Spro's Little John style. They call it Little John Medium. And basically it won't be a Spro's blank. It'll be a knockoff of a Spro's blank, but it's done really well for me. It works really well. Gets down to about 6-7 foot deep. So that one works pretty well. Also, this is the one I love, the S-Crank style. And this will go by various names depending which company you're buying from. And in fact, Shelts, they don't even name it. They don't even give it a name. But I call it the S-Crank style because it's on the same style as Megabass's S-Crank blank. All right, so whether it works exactly like it or not, I don't know, but it works really well. I caught a lot of fish, and I've caught a lot of nice fish with that lure. So that one comes from Shelts. Top water, I've done poppers. In this case, with this popper, has the open holes in the mouth and the open slits in the gills to get a little more pop through it. Should work real well. I just don't use this one that often. When I do top water, if I'm not doing frogs, I prefer a wake bait. I love wake baits. I'd never fished with a wake bait until just within the last few years. And you know what? I still probably wouldn't have fished with them, but I bought the blanks to paint them. So that got me started on wake baits. Now I love wake baits. I have probably purchased some other stuff from Shelts over time back when. Those are the main ones I remember. So good quality, never had a problem with anything coming from Shelts. Let's move on. Lure Parts Online. Now Lure Parts Online has something a little different than some of the other companies do. This is a deep diver from Man's Bait Company blank. And this is truly a Man's Bait Company blank. I've spoken with some people at Man's, and they actually have, there's 3 or 4 blanks that they sell to Lure Parts Online to be able to resell to the public for painting. So this isn't a knockoff. It's a true Man's deep diver. Caught a lot of fish with that. I like that one. This is what Lure Parts Online calls their 2.5 inch. Now, I have that for the stencils. I purchased the stencils that we use on Sundays to paint with sometimes. Lure Parts Online has their new thing with the low-cost stencils. So I bought some of the blanks that go with the stencils just to try them. But as you look, they're pretty similar to a 1.5. but they call that their 2.5 inch, and it goes with the 2.5 inch stencil. So those are the only 2 blanks I've purchased from Lure Parts online, but not because I don't like their blanks, it's because I bought everything else there. I buy eyes, I buy hooks, I buy split rings, I buy the stencils, I buy jigs, I buy skirts, I buy blades for chatterbaits, tons of stuff from Lure Parts online. Always good quality stuff, never ever had a problem with them. Next, Predator Bass Baits. When I get into Predator Bass Baits, they've had some different stuff. Let me see, what do we got here? This one was called the Rock Crawler, kind of a deeper diver. I bought some of those, liked those. This one was called the Mega, and it's a shallow, maybe a 2 or 3 foot. I've caught some fish with this. This one is similar to Mega Basses. They have the lure called Mega. So knockoff or whatever, I'm not sure exactly from Predator Bass Baits, but it's like similar to the Mega from Mega Bass. Also, going back to the S-crank style, they have one called the Junior. All right, this is the smaller version. I painted this. I did this one when I called my Homer and like that. And let's see what they call it. They call this SKO Junior. So like I said, when you get into this S-crank style, you're going to find different names. Got the rattles in it. Everything I got, I think, has rattles in it. This is a smaller version, only goes about 2 or 3 feet deep. As I said, I painted a few of those, one of those in my Homer. Had some pretty good luck with that. Let's see, what else we did. I've done a lot of stuff with them in the DT style. All right, so this is a DT3, going to go about 3 feet deep. Here's a DT6, going to run about 6 feet deep. Had a lot of success with this one. This is something they have that's a little unusual. It's a DT10 body and a DT16 bill. Now, I don't know if it's going to get down to 16 feet, but it gets down there pretty deep, and it starts cranking on this pretty good. Starts working on your wrist pretty good. Here's the thing when I'm getting to these deeper lures. When you're doing this deeper diver stuff, you're going to get down there, even these DT6s. When you start doing the deeper divers, you got to get them to run straight. And now is where quality means everything, because good quality lures, they're not all going to be perfectly running straight out as you get them, but it depends on the company. Some of these people test them ahead of time to make sure they're going to run straight. Some don't, but they got good quality, so you don't have a problem. So the DT6 and this DT1016 and the Rock Crawler, any of these I've picked up from Predator Bass Baits have all run straight and true with no problems. I don't know if they pre-test or not, don't know, but I will tell you all my deep divers there have run straight and true, and I've had no problems with them. So I really like those. Let's see, let's move on. Dinger Custom Baits. I have picked up 2 different lures is what I picked up from Dinger Custom Baits. Working on the S-crank theme again. They call this New Year Hollow Rattles. The hollow, it's holographic. Should be pretty much the same as the standard S-crank style on the normal size, but it's got the holographics to it. I like that one, so I bought some of them. I wanted to get holographics. Those were very tough to get. The only place I've seen them is Dinger Custom Baits. Somebody might have them, but that's the only place I've seen them. And while I was ordering some of these, I decided to order some of these. And what do they call? They call this the Blitz. All right, I have no idea if that comes up from another lure. I don't know, not well about it. The main reason I bought it, again, I was back doing the stencils from Lure Parts online. This had a kind of a flat side to it. So I thought, well, that might be a little easier with these stencils painting it. So I did paint up one with this. I will say, nice deep diver. I put it over humps that I know my finder says are about 8-9 feet deep. This thing was hitting the hump when it went across the top. Bill was digging in nice, so it really, again, never had to adjust it. Straight out of the box, did exactly what it's supposed to do. So, Dinger Custom Baits. I've had good luck with them on the lures that I have purchased. Then we get into stuff like Amazon. All right. Here is a DT6 that I picked up at Amazon. And bought a bunch of these. They didn't cost a whole lot. I'll tell you why. You can't get them to run straight. And you always want to take your tie, and you can adjust that. You know, if the lure's running right, you a little bit to the left and get it to run up, whatever. And I painted up a couple. I gave a couple of these to another guy that does a lot of fishing. He's big. He does a lot of tournament fishing and stuff. And I asked him, I said, could you ever get these things to run straight? And he says, no. And I couldn't either. I got one that was halfway, but I've got 3 I've tried, and I got one I could actually get it to run straight. And it took a lot of work to get it that way, and I'm not still sure that's going to stay constantly straight all the time. Again, just came from Amazon. I couldn't even tell you who I got them from. Yeah, that's a DT6, didn't cost much, and give them a try. Just see what happens. Be a little careful when you're dealing with stuff like that. Here's another Amazon buy, I believe. This one's got a little fin. It's got a blade. It's supposed to be top water. This is the one that's got you put a propeller blade on the back. And I think I painted at least one here for you guys, maybe 2. I don't know. I'm sorry. It wasn't worth anything. I mean, it's a wake bait. What's it take to get a wake bait to run straight? Nothing. This thing is just... It was going all over the place. It would not run straight and true. This wake bait was running great. Needless to say, it's in the bottom of a box somewhere. Don't even use them anymore. Now, that being said, not all those you get from odd places are bad. And let me go with these two. Couple shad wrap, flicker shad style. And I'm saying that, and I got these through AliExpress. They came from China. They did not come from Shelts. So I picked these up from another company through AliExpress. AliExpress is an umbrella with countless companies under them, but they all come under the heading of AliExpress. It runs the whole thing for all these smaller companies, and that's good for us if you're going to deal with them. So I can't tell you what company I got these from, but they didn't cost much. I bought a bunch of them. I probably bought 40 of these things. And I looked. I get the Bass Pro catalog, and I thought, okay, let me go look at a flicker shad. Let me look at a shad wrap, and let's see which one of these looks like. And guess what? They don't have either one of them, because they have, some of them have the bills are different. Some of them have a smooth side. This one has the scales. So they're kind of in the same as a shad wrap flicker shad, but they're not really like either one. Quality-wise, I rarely use much like this. I bought a few just to paint them for the painting videos, because I figured some of you guys may use them, so I should paint some. About a month or so ago, we're getting into the season. Day was lousy, having a bad fishing day, and I thought, you know what, let's see what these do. Are these going to run true? Are these going to get down there? Because, you know, I bought this cheap one, I couldn't get it to run straight, where if I spend a little more for quality, I don't have a problem, so let's see. I'd been fishing off a hump that's about 8 feet deep, where I had 13, 14 feet water on either side. I tied one of these on, went down the lake, came back around, took my trolling motor, set me up to troll across. I'm not a walleye fisherman. I don't know the right speeds you're supposed to troll with or anything like that. I threw it out back, I let it go down, and I came across. But when I got to that hump, I knew it. This thing was digging on that hump, and I could feel that bill popping off that hump all the way across. So I swung around, I did it again just to make sure, and sure enough, when this thing hit the hump. So these did not cost me very much. They were really kind of cheap, but I gotta say, they probably, I mean, if I'm down there hitting on a hump 8 feet deep, at least they're not going sideways or going like this. I mean, the cheap ones, you'll see them, I mean, there's stuff going all over the place because you can't get them to run straight. These run pretty straight, so I was fairly impressed. Again, came from AliExpress. Let me tell you one thing about AliExpress real quick. As I said, main company, all these little other companies, Shelts or all these companies like this that work under AliExpress. That is good, because what happens is they give a certain amount of time for you to get your order and get it right. I bought some frogs from some company on AliExpress, and they weren't shipped, and they were starting to give me excuses. Well, it's a long way from China. You got to wait a while. I said, no, I don't. Shelts gives me a lure within 2 to 3 weeks, and I'm now sitting on 2 months with these people waiting for frogs. And they were giving me a song and a dance. I figured, fine. I went to AliExpress. I filed a complaint. And I said, I've dealt with countless companies. It's the only one that never produced the product. And they're giving me some excuse. AliExpress got back to me within 24 hours, said, no problem, get your money back to you. And within 48 hours, that money was back in my bank. So I have no problem working with AliExpress. They take care of you. There's going to be some fly-by-night companies over there you're going to have to deal with, but AliExpress covers it. Shelts, good quality stuff. I got to say, very good quality stuff from Shelts. I have no problem with that. Really no problem with anybody that I've dealt with. Whether it's Shelts, whether it's Lure Parts Online, Dinger Custom Baits, Predator Bass Baits. They've all been really good and had good products. And that's what you want to do, because you want to stay away from this stuff that won't run true, or you can't get it to run true. I mean, the only advantage here is I now got a lot of blanks I can practice on, because I'll probably never use those for fishing, and I think there was 20 of them in the box when I got them. That's it, guys. That's the lures I use. Links in the description. Hey, you need a 2 Seasons t-shirt, link in the description for that also. Thanks for sticking with me. Subscribe to the channel if you would. Hope to see you again real soon.